Good morning, good morning, good morning, community. How are you? Jenenne Macklin here, transformational speaker, your wealth guide and catalyst. I was just pausing for a moment to hear the tweets. Can you hear them? Well, it is Wednesday Wisdom, and we've been talking about setting your vision and being clear on where it was you were going for 2021 so that your focus. Because one thing's for sure, if you have your focus and your goals and you stay on track for that, then you won't get as distracted by all the other stuff that's going on in the world. While we certainly have the possibility of changing our hearts with the um, inauguration today, that is still going to take some time because so much of what's got to happen on the planet is that we change our hearts. It's that we change how we feel about each other, which first means we change how we feel about ourselves. So that's going to take a minute. But at least the door has been open for that kind of a conversation. We know it'll take a minute. We know there's still 72,000 people who wanted the last president to still be president, and that narrative that this election has been stolen will probably continue, unfortunately, throughout this person's presidency, throughout Biden's presidency. And that's just the way life is. He'll still do what he came to do. The two of them will do what they're supposed to do. In the meantime, though, what are you supposed to be doing? I'm looking at my eyes because a friend of mine last time was like, your eyes look, I just washed my face. So my face always turns red. My eyes always red after I wash my face because I put my whole face in the water. So while we're looking at how the world can begin to shift and change, hi, Evelyn, it really still is important for us to stay focused on our vision. Because what's our vision for our individual lives? What are our goals for our individual lives? And what does that look like? What are the steps, the action steps that you have to take to achieve it? And then even more important than that is, how do you stay on task? How do you stay focused? Because we can have wonderful goals and you'll write them down. Maybe in the area of weight, there's always some weight to be lost. In the area, I'm smelling marijuana already this morning, huh? In the area of food, there's some food that needs to be changed and eliminated. In the area of finance, I'm sure there's things that have to be changed along the way. But what I want you to do is just identify one area in those 4 areas of your life. Under that, you're going to be writing 2 or 3 action steps you're going to be taking. And then the next thing you do have to look out for is that part of you that says, oh, this is too much. Oh, this is too hard. Oh, how am I going to do that? Now, that's an aspect of you. That's the old part of you. You know, like you shed the old and you want to pick up the new. There's that old that still lingers. And what we have to do is become very conscious. I do it too. I have to become very conscious of what I hear myself saying to myself. Because the president is going to do what he needs to do on a larger scale. But in your life, you are the president and the CEO of your life. You are. You and God, life, and the universe are making things happen. That doesn't change. We don't get off the hook for that because there's a new president in the United States. We don't get off the hook for that because there's a potential insurrection that happened some weeks ago or days ago. We don't get off the hook for our dreams and our goals. So it's imperative, if you haven't done already, if you didn't listen to the other audios from, today's Wednesday, from Monday and maybe last Friday, write your goals down. Write down those action steps that you're going to take. Now, here's the thing about goals. We really can't do them by ourselves. Somewhere along the line, we have to tell someone else and get someone else's support, someone else's accountability. At some point, you're going to reach the place where you're going to say, oh, God, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this. Now, that's the old you. Because the old you is recognizing that as you shift and change, it's got to shift and change. And as it shifts and changes, some of the ways you used to be and the things that you used to do will fall away. So that old you is sitting there saying, oh, we don't feel like doing this, or this is too much work, or why do we have to do this? So you want to capture that. You actually want to see if you can capture those thoughts and hear yourself saying them. Maybe even write them down. I don't want to do this. This is too hard. I can't do this. And then take that into your times of stillness, your times of focus for your goals, to really ask yourself, is that the truth? Is it that you can't do it? Or is it that you just are allowing yourself to tell yourself the old story from the old tapes that always left you feeling unfulfilled, that you couldn't reach your goals? Because sometimes we really do have to talk to ourselves about what we hear ourselves saying, because we're the ones that's in charge of all this. We are. Now, you may give some of that responsibility to the TV and to the world because you buy into the indoctrination from TV, or you may give some of that to your family because you buy into what they say. But ultimately, Nancy, how are you, my dear? Nancy and Evelyn and Crystal and Kat, we are all responsible for this right here. This is our responsibility. Now, granted, we try to be responsible for what our kids do and responsible for our husbands and our wives and whatever, all everybody else. But our only responsibility really is to live this life with this being the best we can. So what you want to have is what I call accountability partners. You want someone to hold you accountable to the goals that you set for yourself. And oftentimes that cannot be you. There's got to be someone else who calls you and say, hey, how you doing? How's exercising? Or how's not eating this going? Or how's saving your money going? Or how's taking your walks going? Someone who holds you accountable to your dreams in addition to you, so that you have that support. Because oftentimes we forget to identify the culprit in our own mind. And that culprit is the one who's saying things, who's whispering those thoughts that are in contradiction to the very goals that we say that we want. So we have to be very mindful of what it is we hear ourselves saying to ourselves, because we're with ourselves all the time. So if we don't pay attention to what we're saying to ourselves, we'll look up one day and we'll be like, well, how did I get here? And then you realize, and you know, if the first thing we want to do is blame it on somebody else, well, the kids or my wife or my husband or my best friend. No, we ended up where we are because of ourselves. So it's funny how this right here of us is so big for us to manage, to navigate, and to, I don't want to say control, but to be in charge of. And oftentimes we want to be over in somebody else's life and somebody else's business, as opposed to focusing on our lives, focusing our attention on our goals, and focusing our energy on the results that we say we want in our lives. Whatever the result is that you say you want, nothing's going to prevent you from having that except for you and this right here. So that's why you have to listen to what you hear yourself say to yourself and then nip it in the bud. If it's not supporting where you want to go, if it's not supporting how you want to show up in your life, if it's not supporting the results that you want to see showing up in your life, then how come you continue to think that thought? Now, when I'm coaching clients, I work with them in a very detailed manner around capturing what they're saying to themselves that move them toward where they want to go, or keeps them stuck, or leaves them back where they started, like way back where they started. But you are on your own in a sense and having to implement some of these strategies for you to see the success that you want to see in your life. So it's the little things, because we did a vision board and we did our vision boards, and you can have your vision board, but if you don't look at it consistently and if you don't infuse it on a regular basis, it's just a paper with pictures. And here's the thing, there's no one coming behind you to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you have a goal. Hey, you're supposed to be working on your goal. Hey, get focused on your goal. No. Have you ever noticed that the thoughts in here that should be supporting around your goal, they're not saying that. Instead, they're saying, oh, I don't feel like it. Oh, it's so hard to do this. Oh, how long we got to do this? And it's like, well, who are you? Are you for me or against me? Well, listen, it's always for you. It's always for you. But sometimes we have old, outdated thoughts and programmings that pop up and they just play on automatic pilot, which is why this becomes a time for you to really pay attention to what you are saying to yourself. Is it supporting what you want to see showing up in your life? Or is it just taking you in a whole completely, oh, there's a nice picture, a whole completely different direction? Because if it's not supporting what you say you want to see in your life, then why are you allowing that thought to continue to take up root in your consciousness? It's like your mind is the soil, and you put these little thoughts, and you let them take up root. Instead of saying, excuse me, that is not in alignment with the goal that I have. So why am I thinking that thought? And then you get to replace it with another thought. So that's where you get to have what we had when we were in the my coaching program some years ago. Now it's about 7 years now. We had accountability partners. And they were just people that we got on the phone with once a week to say, how are you? What was your goal? How are you doing? Where do you need help? That was it. Someone to hold you accountable to your goals. And a lot of times you don't want to tell people what your goals are because already there's a sense in, well, I'm not going to make it and I don't want to be embarrassed. Excuse me? How are you going to reach your goal if that's your inner thought? You want to tell as many people as you can so you know you have that many people on your support team, so to speak, to say, hey, how you doing? How was your run today? Or how was your walk today? Or how was your exercise? How was your food today? Just holding you accountable to yourself and your dreams and your goals. We can't do it all by ourselves. We didn't create whatever the habit is that we're shifting and wanting to change all by ourselves. Our family may have supported it. Our partners and lovers may have supported it. Our friends may have supported it. I mean, think about this. How many times you say you're going to lose weight? And then a girlfriend calls, say, hey, let's go out to eat. And you're like, well, wait a minute, I'm trying to lose weight. But you want to go out with them. So you're like, okay, fine, I'll go out with you. Then while you're there, you have to make the choices, the critical choices to support yourself in choosing what you're going to eat. And they're like, oh, come on, you can eat this. Oh, come on, you can have that. It's okay. It's just one day. Okay, now is that your crew that's going to help you reach your goal? Or is that your crew that's going to keep doing what they've always been doing and want to include you in it? See, you're the one that's going to have to make those choices. And the only reason why we don't see the manifestations of our goals is because when it comes to making those choices, we let ourselves down. That's the bottom line. We let ourselves down. Oh, well, everybody wanted me to have a drink. I don't care if everybody wants you to have a drink. If you said you weren't going to drink, then don't drink. Drink a soda. Drink something else. Oh, I ate because everybody was making me eat. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. You made a choice consciously on some unconscious level, though, to say, okay, well, I'll go ahead and eat. So you give yourself the excuse. I just want you to recognize how integral you are in the dynamics of your own life and seeing the manifestation of your goals and your dreams. Part of why I coach is because we can't do it by ourselves. We need accountability. We need someone pulling our coattails, say, excuse me, did you do this, this, and this? And then to hear our excuse about why we didn't do it and then help us get back on track. That's the whole reason why I do coaching. You need someone to be able to say to you, excuse me, this was it. This is what you said. These were the steps you said you're going to take. Now, what did you say to yourself to prevent you from taking those steps? Because we can always blame it on someone else. There'll always be, well, the kids wanted this, or my husband wanted that. And for some of you, my essential workers, well, I had to do this for work. But the truth be told, the power to make it all happen resides in each and every one of us. And so I've been talking to you these last few times about your vision for your life. What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like? What do you want it to taste like when you're living your life? And then what are you willing to do to see that come into manifestation in your life? What are you willing to shift? What are you willing to change? How are you willing to be to have what you say you want? Because no one's going to take it from you. No one's going to prevent you from getting it. If anything, it's up to you to make it show up in your life. It's up to you to attract it into your life. It's up to you through your energy, through your thinking, through your speaking, to draw it to you. But that, just like everything else we created, requires our consistent attention. Now, for many of us, we have created so much, but we've done it unconsciously that we don't realize we've done it. So it's easy to say, well, my mom did that, or my sister made me do that. No. Truth be told, can't anybody really make us do anything we don't want to do. So when we did it, on some level, we co-signed and said, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. And then we feel bad when we get home. You've gone all week long eating what you're supposed to eat. Then you go out with your friends and eat what you didn't have on your meal plan. And then you get back home and say, shoot. I don't like when I do that. I don't like the way that feels, because then I know, okay, you got to regroup again, get back in position, and start again. I don't like starting over. I think, what's today, Wednesday? Was it last Monday before? I need to write it on the calendar. It was one Monday or 2 Mondays ago, I think, or 3 now, where I told you about Al Sharpton losing weight. Now, all my friends tell me he did have the surgery because he was so thin. But what he said was that his baby girl touched his stomach and said he was fat. And so he started to lose weight. Now, maybe he left out some of the complete details, which is his personal life. He can do that. But the detail that I caught was that he changed his diet. And the first thing he changed was eating meat. So I thought, shoot, and he's down to 129? Oh, I can do that. So 2 or 3 Mondays ago, I said on here, okay, I'm going to stop eating meat. And I did. And I have. It was a conscious decision that I made. It wasn't any big whatever. It's like, I'm going to stop. It's not good for us anyway. How many more reports do we need for them to tell us about what's happening with beef and what's happening with ham and what's happening with chicken? So it only made sense to let the meat go. Now, does that mean my friend's not going to say, hey, you want to go get something to eat? Or, hey, come over. We're going to be out in the front yard, six distancing, I call it 6 degrees of separation, and having our mask on. But do you want to come? Well, yes, I'm going to go. but I'm going to take my food with me to ensure that I stay on track for what I want. And that's the way it is for all of us with any of our goals. We have to be the stewards for our goals. We have to be the midwife for our goals. They're not anybody else's goal. Our vision, the vision we have is for us, for our life, for what we want to see. And sure, there are those around us on the outskirts who will help us fulfill that. But ultimately, we are the ones that carry that. And you want to carry it like a precious gift until you see the manifestation of the results that you desire. Now, where I come in, or people like me who are coaches, we hold you accountable. We love holding you accountable to what you say you're going to do. And we walk you through the particular steps on what that looks like and how to do that, and maybe give you some help along the way. But when you don't have that, you want to get your own crew and have them around you and say, this is what I'm going to do. And I want you guys to hold me to my goal. And they will do that. But you can't do it on your own. So the biggest piece is staying focused. And the second piece is when you hit that bump, you're going to hit a bump. You're going to hit it. What do you have in place for you to stay on track? What do you have in place? Who do you call? Who do you talk to? What do you do so that you stay on track? Because I can only imagine, it's been a moment that I set a goal and then I get off track and then it just stops. I don't even try the goal anymore. I just am not that person. I'm not built that way. So you've got to be able to have some accountability. There's going to be somebody you can pick up on the phone, pick up the phone and call and say, listen, you remember that goal I set? Okay, well, today is one of my days I'm struggling. What can you say to me to help me stay on track? You've got to have that. You've got to have that support. It's not something you're supposed to do on your own or all alone. So who's going to be that person that helps you stay on track and keeps you focused so you stay walking where you're going to go? We know those at AA are moving through recovery. They can run and hop in a meeting and get that support and get that boost. So where do you have that you can go that it helps you stay focused? It may be you go to prayer. It may be that you go into stillness. It may be that you pick up a phone and call someone. It may be that whatever you're doing, you get up and go for a walk and change your energy and your vibration. But there has to be that you have in place that keeps you focused on your goals and continuing to put one foot in front of the other. So let me know what your goals are. Let me know what your vision is. Put it down below. If you come on here afterwards, please put #replay and let me know what state you're in. I am in the process of some wonderful stuff. My affirmation cards are on the way for the Money Mastery now. So the book comes out and the affirmation cards are now available for that also. And my coaching program is going to be starting next month, so that's exciting. A membership program is being set up for you, so that's exciting as well. And then next Thursday, I will be doing a live visioning session for those of you who are on my email list, so you should get it in my email telling you to join me. Not this Thursday, right? Today is Wednesday. The next Thursday that we'll be hopping on to really look at your vision for your life. How do you infuse it? How do you really take the action to live it, and then what do you do to actually see the results that you want to see showing up in your life? Okay? I'm Jenenne Macklin. I'm that transformational speaker who wants to disrupt the conversation that you have with money. I'm here to empower women to step in the financial position that you really do have on this planet, to make peace with money so you can make room for wealth. We can't get to wealth. We can't get to the intergenerational wealth until we make peace with money. Because we spend all our time being mad about money, not having enough, when am I going to get more? And then we don't talk about money. So I'm going to be moving us into that alignment. We're all out of alignment with money and helping women move back into alignment with money. So once you have peace with money, then from there, you can now move toward wealth and what that means. Because you can't have wealth if you got all this craziness going on up in your head. That'll all just kick the wealth out. Because all of it's a consciousness. All of it's consciousness. So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's where I am on the planet. Safari. Oh, Safari. You're just blessed to be present. Thank you. I'm blessed to have you present here as well. So enjoy your day. Stay focused on your vision. Make sure you've got your goals written down. And then the next step is to be clear about how do you stay focused. What and who will help you be accountable. And since many of us are home, I'm sure you have family members or children who have no problem saying, Mom, you're supposed to go walk, or Mom, you're supposed to go do this. Hi, Deborah Smith, Handy, how are you? Or, Mom, aren't you supposed to exercise? You know, my son is always saying, are you getting ready to go walk? I'm like, yes, I am, because he wants me out the house. So make sure you have that accountability group of people who continue to support you, who continue to give you that shot in the arm when you need it some days. When you're like, oh God, I just don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like doing it. And there's that one person, girl, you better get up. Come on, let's go. And you just hear and you're like, okay, fine, I'll go. You got to have that for yourself to make your goals happen. No matter what's going on out there with the presidency, no matter what's going on with the insurrection and the 72,000 people that wanted Trump and all that stuff, does not change the fact that you are here to live the most amazing life you're willing to grant for yourself. You are here to live the most loving, fulfilling, I want to say purposeful life. And nothing stops that. Nothing. They didn't come knock on your door. You don't live at the White House. They didn't break out your windows and sit at your desk. Nothing stops you from living that life if you choose to have it for yourself. It just requires that you take the action, that you have the mindset. Some of you may need coaching and accountability to stay on track and to then be committed to yourself like you are so often committed to everything and everybody else, my ladies. So take good care. It's Wednesday. I'm starting to wrap up some. I started this last March every single day thinking the pandemic would be short. It's still going on. So then I moved it to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and now I've moved it to Monday and Wednesday as I get more into my business and really want to talk with those who really want to make the shifts and changes in their lives. So tomorrow's Thursday, Friday, do what you need to do for your weekend to be amazing. Review those goals. Sit with that vision board. If you want to join me next Thursday and you're on my list, you'll get an email to join the group for the call. In the meantime, I will be, you're getting ready to go walk and take the track up the street. Outstanding. I will probably go and hit the Rose Bowl and do my 3.5 walk as well. Have a wonderful day, each and every one of you. Take good care of you. Take good care of your heart, because that's what this is all about. Everything on this planet is about our hearts. Because our thoughts have gotten us in the way. Our thinking has gotten us in the way. It's our hearts. It's opening up our hearts. It's being willing to say hello. It's being willing to speak to someone that you normally wouldn't speak to. It's being willing to listen to someone that you wouldn't normally listen to because you think they're so different than you. This is all about our hearts. And the more we heal our hearts, the faster we heal our hearts, the faster we're going to see some shifts and changes. And Michelle Obama said it. It's been years now. It starts with you saying hello to your neighbors and knowing who's around you and caring about them and speaking with them and learning what their lives are about and where they came from and what they stand for. And when we do that, then we make what seems real wide, we bring it together just like this, person by person, step by step, one by one. So while we're out there running and we're out there walking and we're out there doing our exercise, make sure you wave. Because I wave at people, they don't wave back. I have the nerve to get upset, but I let that go. I just wave anyway. So take good care. Have a great day. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you on Monday for Monday Mindset, and I'll be here on Wednesdays for Wednesday Wisdom. Bye for now.